what's going on? It's Younger Diop, and today we're going to talk about transits. Now, I've talked about natal astrology, your birth chart, but what exactly is a transit? Well, you see, the planets are always in motion. The planets are always moving. So you have this point at which you were born, and your natal chart is like a snapshot, and it is a freeze picture of what is to happen in your life, your foretelling, but it does not tell what exactly is happening right now. It talks about patterns, it talks about things in your life, but if we need to look at a snapshot of the now, as of right now, we need to get to your transits. See, your natal chart provides the bigger picture, but your transits, it gets surgical. It cuts down to this is happening right now, this is happening today. And so with your transits, it pinpoints the movements of certain things in certain houses and says, hey, this event is likely to happen. This is likely to jump off. You're likely to get paid with this right here. You know, you're likely to experience this breakup. You're likely to get this promotion at the job. Your transits tend to point to the pattern that is most likely to happen. And that's what astrology does. And for my doubters, for my astrology not real people, oh, today we got a good one for you. Because whose transits are we going to look at? We're going to look at Donald Trump's transits. And we're going to look at it on the day of his shooting. Now, in order to find out what was likely to happen on the day that Donald Trump experienced the shooting, we have to take his date of birth, his natal chart, that snapshot, and we have to look at that date and the movement of the planets on that particular date, July 13th, 2024. And so, when we look at that particular date and that particular time, we go and we see that he has Jupiter sextile Pluto. That means sudden changes and luck. Because Pluto is the planet of upsets, deep upsets, something that's been boiling. Somebody was watching Trump and it was just boiling them. That intensity. Basically, that means that there was something new that was going to happen, but there was going to be some luck. And also with Jupiter, that means there was going to be some money. And you know that President Donald Trump saw a lot of money after that shooting. So that trend was pointed to already in his chart. But let's say that's a one-off. Let's say, oh, that's just lucky. You know, you just made that up off the top of your head. Conjunction Uranus mid-heaven. What does that mean? It means that your destiny on the world stage, again, we have Uranus. We have that disruption. This means that something new was going to happen. Something strange, something eccentric is going to happen. There was going to be a disturbance. There was going to be something crazy that happened out of the blue on the world stage. Nothing like a shooting, right? Maybe I'm just being lucky though. Maybe I'm just getting lucky here. Let's try and see if there's one more thing that we can find that will show us why this shooting happened on this particular day to Donald Trump. Mars square Uranus transit. What does that mean? Let's look into that. Mars, the planet of conflict, war, fighting, action. Uranus, again, we got that disruption, we got that strangeness, we got that eccentricity, we got that sudden accident. If you look this up, if you just Google search it, almost everything about it will talk about violence, accidents, car crashes, fights, everything you can name, because Mars is that planet of action. And when it clashes with Uranus, that means that something eccentric is going to happen. Something off the radar is going to happen. So on this day, that meant that Trump was going to experience something that was going to be out of the normal. That was going to be a difficult situation, a clash. Something that was going to do with fighting, something to do. He was going to get into an argument with his wife. He was going to almost swing on the Secret Service. Something was going to happen that day. It's in the transits. And with that being said, any astrologer that looked at that would have said, hey, if I'm doing this reading for Trump, I'm going to say, hey, Donald, you've been having any type of hate mail, or you've been having a problem with somebody, you've been having an issue with one of your bodyguards, you've been having an issue with your wife or something, because we got some conflict coming up. That's what astrology is designed to do, is to forewarn you, is to tell you, is to give you the heads up, because most people are not aware. Most people are thinking about other things. Donald Trump thinking about his taxes. He thinking about the baddie he's seen in his casino. He thinking about, man, I gotta renovate Trump Tower. It's looking a little raggedy in the bathrooms. Trump is thinking about those things. And so an astrologer is going to say, hey, you need to pay attention here. Are you getting into fights? Are you getting into conflicts? Do you have some hate mail that you should probably be focused on? And so with that being said, there are some funny things that stick out about this. The first is the date, which is the 13th. Also, the man's last name was Crooks, the man who fired the shot. And so it's very funny that all of these little things happen, and then all of a sudden we get this massive event that we have to pay attention to. But those are your transits. And so with that being said, that's why I do this. That's why I love doing natal charts. That's why I love doing transit readings. It's because people often miss things in life. They miss opportunities. They miss things that they could have caught on to. They miss things that they probably should pay attention more in order to avoid a worse situation. And so with that being said, that's why I go ahead and charge in order for people to learn and to listen and to do these transits and charts. Because there are things that we need to pay attention to that we don't always know, and we need to be able to see down the road. And so with that being said, that's why I do what I do. And so your transits are something that you should watch. You should be talking to an astrologer. You should be looking at this, because that's the way to go in order to kind of get an inside track on your life. And so with that being said, I hope that you get your transits or that you learn how to look into it. I'm always available if you need to get to me. Thank you very much for listening. Peace.